Okay, well, good morning and welcome to our Saturday morning training. This is Gregory Muscari up here in Bozeman, Montana. And we do these Saturday morning trainings every Saturday to help our new members get up to speed and get going, and our existing members to just learn the finer points and tips and skills of building a successful LifeWave business. In this business, you got to be a good student to be a good teacher, and our teachers get paid really, really well. So we're really excited. Our Saturday morning trainings are based on our 4-step proven plan of action, as you can see on your screen: prepare, share, care, and enroll. This is week number 3, and we're going to jump into the caring aspect of it. And we've got a very special leader, a rising star in Canada. She's been a health coach, nutritionalist, a registered nurse for over 45 years, working in hospitals, schools as a wellness coordinator, nutritionalist, working with clients, teaching food as medicine. Yum. She's passionate about making a difference in the lives of many people and is driven to create an opportunity and a community for people to live long and prosper. And so just so delighted to invite Anne Moreau to jump in and take the throttle, take the podium here this morning as we talk about how to share and these wonderful products and opportunity we have. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. I look forward to chatting about this part of our business because it is truly about caring for other people. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to share Nitty Gritty. Nitty Gritty is a powerful tool for us to use when it comes to our business. And I absolutely love what Judy has done here. And I don't know if any of you have explored all this. I know many of you have. Yesterday, I was on with a couple of gentlemen who just loved it, went through all of this, so much information, all here on Nitty Gritty. So make sure that if you haven't explored it, that you go in and take a look, because the information is here, is condensed, it's all in one place. And I just am so grateful to Judy for the work that Gregory, Robin, Judy, and all those who were involved that put this together. Because when I started, I didn't know it existed, and I was using YouTube and I was going all over the place trying to train, and this is all in one location. So absolutely beautiful. So you will see when you go to distributors, you can click getting started to get this document. And this document, it shares all about getting started. And today, as Gregory has said, we are going to talk about care or follow-up. That's the important part of our business. It's the most important master skill that we can develop, is to follow up with our folks, because we're developing friendships with them, correct? And we want to make sure that the people that we are gifting or talking to, that we care about them. Understand that people won't care how much you know, but they will care about, they want to know how much you care. So caring for people is vitally important. It's a skill that all of us need to develop in a huge way. So show you care by following up. If you go ahead and you share with someone, or you talk with someone, but you haven't followed up, then you're really wasting a lot of time and effort. And listen, if you're not following up, you're giving them a message that it's not important. But it is important, because we know this business is going to change lives. And so it's a really important thing to do, is to follow up. Sometimes we tell ourselves, maybe I don't want to bother them, or I don't want to be a pest. Have you ever done that? Have you ever given yourself those kinds of messages? I think it's important to turn that around and to remember that you have information and you have an entire team of people who believe. You have your own story. You have all these people that have experience, and you can reach out for tons of support. I cannot believe how much support we get in this community. It is amazing. Use those tools that we have. They are simply amazing. Follow up. You share the video. The beautiful part about sharing the video is that we do have an InTouch app. If you don't know about the InTouch app, make sure to put that on your phone. That InTouch app allows you to share videos from there, and you can then go ahead and see if they watch the video. It will tell you how much they've watched, and then it allows you to go and follow up. Now, if someone has not watched the video, sometimes what I will do is I will text them or I'll call them and I'll have a conversation with them, a brief conversation about how they're doing, what's going on with their family. And then I will ask them, or I'll say to them, I'm guessing you haven't had time to watch that video. And that kind of triggers their memory. For a lot of people, they're busy. There's a lot going on in their life. We don't know. People are, have families and they have kids. We don't know what's going on, and they may just not have had time. I'm, working right now with a couple of real estate brokers. Do you think maybe real estate brokers are busy right now? This is, crazy time for them. And so, for them, it's, following up and keeping up with conversations with them. Perhaps, I know that I have actually called them and said, hey, I understand you're really busy. Tell me, give me a frame of time when you think you can do this. And, I really want to give you a gift of patches. And that kind of, intrigues them and makes them want to, go ahead and watch the video. And sometimes that can be enough to get them watching it. So the other piece of our business is that asking questions is vitally important. If you're not used to chatting with people and asking them a lot of questions, get into the habit of doing that, because asking questions is what is going to get you the answers you need to know where they stand. If they've watched the video, what interested them the most? What did they connect with the most when they watched the video? Keep asking them a lot of questions as they share with you about what they liked. So tell me more. That's a great line. Tell me more about what you heard or what you connected with. Why is that important to you? So that you can keep getting more information from them. And then at some point in time, ask them, on a scale of 1 to 10, what 10 being the highest, how would you rate your interest? And if they say to you, oh, I'm a 1 or a 2, then, maybe that, they're not interested in doing this and you want to move on. If they say, a 5 or 6, I'm going to ask more questions. Tell me more about that. Why is it a 5 or 6? What is it that you need that would help, with you, increasing your interest? If they say I'm an 8, I'm a 9, and they might say to you, well, I don't, quite, understand all of this, and I need a little bit more information. And that offers you an opportunity to say, hey, are you open to another video? And I will often ask them, are you somebody who wants a little information, a moderate amount of information, or a lot of information? I know that a lot of the people that I've talked with have said, I'm all about science. I want to know more. And so you want to send them the science video. You want to give them the information that they need to finally move forward to, wanting to do more in this business. And of course, you want to answer their questions. There is something I do want to say about answering their questions. I try not to be the only one answering their questions. And the reason that I do that is because I don't want to be the only funnel. And I want to be able to have the people that come in to my business to be able to duplicate what I'm doing. And even though, and I want to say to you that Dr. Tom Acklin is a powerful example of this. So Dr. Tom, he could answer most questions. However, he doesn't. What he does is he'll say to the person that he's speaking with, hey, I know somebody who can answer those questions. Let's get you on a 3-way call or a Zoom. He often uses the Zoom because he likes the ability to see each other. And then when you invite the team to answer the questions, what you're doing is what we call third-party validation. So yes, people know me as the nurse nutritionist, and they look up to me for some of the answers. But when I, use the team to answer the questions, that's duplicatable, right? They can reach out and get a team member to answer those questions. And so I will often say to the people that I'm talking with, hey, I don't know all of the answers to your questions, but I do know somebody who can answer those questions for you. So let me get them on the phone. And sometimes it'll be right then and there. Other times it may be that I schedule a time. When are you available? Let me see if I can get, them and find out when they're available. Or let's do a Zoom. And so then we use the team and get them on a Zoom. And I can tell you that I have done that multiple times. And even though, I have people who know me that know that I, do a lot of this work, they know I don't necessarily know this technology as well as somebody else, or the other person may even give the same answer I would, but it's heard differently from that other person, from the third party. So get the third party in so that they can validate what you're sharing with them. And oftentimes it things come out that they might not share with you that they'll share with that third party. And so questions get answered and they feel more comfortable and they get off the phone. One of the gals that I had invited to a three-way call or a Zoom had said to me, I don't know, they get a little bit nervous about, what is this? Is this like a closing kind of thing? What are they going to do on this call? So they have their fears as well. And so it's important to, chat with them and let them know, no, this is simply about answering your questions. And once we did the three-way in the Zoom, when we got off the phone, she called me back and said, oh my God, that was unbelievably awesome. I got so much information. I really loved it. It wasn't threatening. And that's the important part of when you do a three-way call. So make sure, again, you answer their questions. And when you're doing the three-way call, after they've watched the video, or even though these are outlined in sequence, we're human beings, right? So as human beings, we're not always going to do things in that sequential order. I know that I've had times when I am with someone and they're having a lot of discomfort, so I might patch them right on the scene and they're like, whoa, what is this, right? So it's going to be different depending on different situations, but certainly on average, this is a great way for us to sort of go through, asking the questions, answering the questions, doing the three-way calls. And when you do a three-way call, remember that you want to honor the person that your sponsor or whoever it is that's the third party that's getting on. Honor them and honor the person that is on the call by, letting each of them know who they are, telling a little bit about each of them and acknowledging the knowledge maybe that the sponsor or other distributor might have, and then introducing them to the person that's getting on the call. And then just back off and let them do the call together. The sponsor or the other distributor will handle all of the questions that are being asked. So, and then after all of that happens, you can go back, you can ask again, some more questions with them. And if you haven't sent a sample, you can then send them the X39 sample. And that's a powerful tool. Most people within 24 hours will experience something with the X39. We'd say 75 to 80%. Not everybody does. And I can tell you that Robin often says that she never gave a sample and she was just really had a lot of enthusiasm. She was excited about this technology and she was able to get people without giving them samples. She got them enrolled and involved with this company. So, but there is that ability to do the gifting. I know that I initially in another business was doing the gifting model and it's comfortable for me to give a gift. So typically I will give the X39. I love Ron Raybon's cards and his, giving the one gift. That works extremely well for, doing the gifting. And there are see the gifting support documents here in this website. So just remember, never end one exposure without scheduling the next, right? That's very important because we want to continually stay in touch with them. And you need multiple exposures. One exposure is not going to do it. It certainly didn't do it for me because I didn't understand this technology when I started. I mean, I understood, medicine, I understood food, I understood supplementing, but this technology was new for me. So I needed to have multiple exposures and multiple conversations with people, videos and all kinds of stuff in order to understand. So always come from your truth when you're talking to people. That's an important piece, to not be somebody you're not, but coming from your truth. And when you come from your truth and your honesty, people feel that, they see it, they understand that you are there for them. You want them to know that you care. And so I want to move on to the next section here, and it's handling objections. Now, I so remember when I first started in network marketing, how this scared me to death. Handling objections was a really tough one for me because I didn't understand relationship marketing. I didn't understand a lot of their objections, and I didn't know how to deal with them. So understand that, when you're talking to someone, know that if someone has objections, I love Tim Sales' quote. If you don't know Tim Sales, he is a network marketing pro. And what he often will say is, let them sing. And why does he say that? He says that because if you let them object and talk through what's going on, you're going to get a lot of more information. And then you can help deal with those objections. Let them know that you understand because you felt that way as well, and share your story about why you felt that way, and then you can let them know what you actually found. So what Tim Sales will say is, get that bug off the windshield, right? So remove those objections. If you can remove those objections, then they are going to be more likely to move forward. So, another success tip here on this is listen with intention of understanding, not with responding before before understanding what they're trying to tell you, right? So sometimes we're talking to people, and instead of really paying attention to what they're telling us, we're thinking about, oh, what am I going to say about this, right? So really hear them and let them understand. And if you need to use, again, three-way calling to help with these objections, use that three-way calling system. Use the Zoom platform. Whatever's going to help, get you moving forward. The team is there for us. We have some amazing, powerful tools in this company. So these are the final follow-up success tips. We are in the sharing and caring business. We're not in the convincing business. If I have a gentleman right now that I'm working with who is a karate. He works in a karate school, and I went to see him, and I shared, and I've followed up with him. And I don't want to push him to do anything that he's not ready to do. He's in another business right now. But what he has said to me, he's not closed the door. And that's the important piece, is by asking the questions, you can find out where they are. And he said to me, I have great interest in this. And I'm not saying to you, I don't want to do this, but right now it's a busy time. And keep me connected. I want to stay informed. And so I'm going to go ahead and continue sending him videos. I'm going to continue connecting with him. And at some point in time, he'll be ready. So it's not about us convincing them. Your responsibility is to give enough people more information so that they can make an informed decision, and to also be there to support them with that decision. Usually it's going to take we talked about this, it's going to take a lot of discussions. We're in the, make no mistake, we are in the business of educating. That is what we are doing. You've gained knowledge, you've had a personal experience yourself. Share your story, share your personal experience. That's what people want to hear. So You don't want to be wasting people's time, or you don't want to be wasting a lot of time contacting people. So you want to make sure that you're following up. You can earn as you learn. Let me just highlight all of this, right? You're not expected to know everything. That's why three-way callings are great. Three-way calls are great. That's why when you do Zooms, it's a great thing to do, because your sponsor or whoever that you're working with is answering the questions, and you're learning as you go along in this business. All you need to know is where and how to get the information people want. I mean, come to nitty gritty. There's so much information here. Have a calendar where you can post and keep track of all your scheduled follow-ups. Remember that you're in the business for yourself, but not by yourself. So reach out to other people, your sponsor, your upline, the LifeWave corporate team. They're all there for us to succeed. So practice, learn, and do three ways with your upline. So I'm going to stop the share. And I just want to say to all of you that this is a great business and a great opportunity for all of us. And even though, some of us have had challenges with this business, it's so much fun. I'm like really enjoying doing this business. We get to meet so many people. We get to learn from them. We get to work in team. What an amazing, way to do business and make some money at it as well. So I'm going to pass it over to Gregory. And if anyone has questions, hey, now's the time.
And that was fabulous. And we are having fun making money, changing lives. There's no doubt about it. And what a great training. Thank you so, so much. And if we've got a few folks that would like to ask Ann a question about the caring phase of our sharing and caring business, just raise your hand and I'll promote you and unmute you so you can speak. There's a hand raised down at the bottom of your screen. You should see a little button that says raise hand. If you raise your hand, I'll be looking for you. And if anybody's got any questions, we got a few more minutes to spare. So thank you, Ann. That was great.
You're welcome.
Okay, here's Dr. Sarah. Hold on a second. Okay. You should be able to unmute yourself now and speak.
Hello, Anne. I really enjoyed that. Hello, Gregory.
Hello.
Hello. I'm an educator, and I'm wondering if you have any experience in these times with COVID and the vaccine, if you use this at all in your, in talking to people, because I'm just wondering, is it too hot a subject, or what do you think? Or have you had any experience with that?
I have. And I do chat with a lot of people about the patches. And the reason that I do is because what we know is that, these patches are going to help anyone with improving their health, right? So when we look at all of the things that cause damage to the body, we're looking at improving health. So why not chat about these patches that can improve, everyone's health? I do all the time. And I also talk about other patches other than X39. I talk about the Eon, and I let people know how very important that particular patch is as well. If we're inflamed, and you know this, Dr. Sarah, right? If we're inflamed, we're going to be much more likely to get sick. So if we can keep that at bay, and we can allow people to use the patches in their practice, or in your own practice, or in their own regime of health, we're going to help them with the COVID or with the virus. I don't necessarily, talk about a diagnosis, especially publicly, but privately, I might, have private conversations with them about specific diagnoses like COVID. And I might even have a conversation with them about, what they can do should they get exposed. So that's kind of the way I handle it.
Oh, thank you very much. That's helpful.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording so we can keep this recording nice and tight for publishing on Nitty Gritty. And we'll stick around for a few more minutes for a few more questions if anybody has any. So Thank you so much, Anne Moreau. You did a fabulous job. And next week, we'll be talking about enrolling, because if you do enough sharing and caring, somebody's going to say, how do I get started? And that's when the fun really begins. Thanks very much.
Welcome. Thank you, Gregory.